up guys, Eric Rivera here, Fitness Phenom. I'm going to go over a few exercises you guys can do. Parallette. So if you have a pair of these awesome Parallettes, good. They are very beneficial, especially in the sport of calisthenics. Very helpful tool for you guys that you guys can utilize in your training to get better at the basics and at more advanced movements. So I'm going to go over a couple of movements you should be doing with these Parallettes, that you can do with these Parallettes, and hopefully you can do that in your training. So first and foremost, let's talk about why these Parallettes should be. So I'll turn over this way. You guys take a look at the Parallette. It should be from elbow to fingertip. So I'll have the Parallette on the floor, elbow, out to fingertip, right? Which is about shoulder width apart, maybe a little more narrow, right? But you don't want them to be super wide, right? So shoulder to the side, measure it out, fingertip, good, right? So the first movement is a basic movement, right? Parallette push-up, right? It can also be a push-up off an incline, right? Where we stack our joints, rest on the elbow, elbow on the shoulder, and you get your push-ups. So if you struggle with push-ups, you can use Parallettes to help you because you're elevating from the floor, right? So you're at a higher ground than obviously being on the floor. So if you're going to do these with push-up, even if you're at an advanced level, intermediate level, you want to throw these into your training, right? Because it also allows you to get a little deeper in regards to range of motion. So with the floor, obviously your chest is going to touch the floor. You can't get any deeper than that. However, with Parallettes, you can go beyond that point. Right? You can get even deeper and really work beyond that full range of motion, if you will, on those push-ups. Right? So whether you're a beginner, intermediate, advanced, add that into your training regularly. Work that range of motion. If you go all the way down, right, get really deep, that's awesome. Right? Now, so that's movement number one. Second movement you guys can do is going to be a dip. Right? So for Parallette dips, hold on to the Parallette, you're going to kick up, feet out in front, right, and you're going to get down, back up. These obviously are going to help with traditional bar dips, right? So if you struggle with bar dips, this is going to help with that, right? With the push-up and the dip, you're focusing on the tricep, you're focusing on the chest. Obviously, the stabilization of the core is going to get those abs engaged and work those abs as well, right? So for dips, again, kick out, down, and back up, right? So you have your push-ups, you have your dips, those are your pushing movements. Right? A third exercise I recommend for you guys to do with Parallettes. This one is often neglected, but super beneficial. Right? You see a lot of gymnasts do this. It's an L-sit, right? Which is, in my opinion, out of all exercises, one of the best core exercises you can do. So for L-sits, you get on the Parallette. Kick out. You have your feet together, toes pointed, stay nice and tight. Holding this position here, so it's a static movement. Now, for this, you want to hold it for time, whether that's 10 seconds, 20 seconds. It all depends on your ability to hold the movement. Now, if you can't do L-sits, you can tuck the knees in and hold that position there. Right? That's a good scaling option for you to get those L-sits. Right? This can also be done on dip bars at the park. So if you have dip bars, access to dip bars, you can work on those L-sits as well. Right? If, again, you can't do those L-sits, tuck the knees in. Once you get better with those knee tucks, you can kick one leg out, try kicking the other leg out, right? And try kicking both, coming back. Right? Again, in my opinion, one of the best ab exercises you can do. The stronger your core is, stronger all of your body weight movements are, and your Olympic weight is. Right? Last move I want to show you guys is going to be kick throughs. Right? So you can do these in a variety of different ways. Right? Option one, you're going to kick out, you're going to bring the knees in, kick the legs out, right? Bring the knees back in, bring it behind. Just like so. Another core exercise and another good way to build spatial awareness. Now, once you have that, right, you can take it to the next level and try to do it without having your feet touch the floor, which is going to look like this. Obviously, that's a little more advanced, but if you're there, give that a go. It's often neglected, but utilize it. It'll get your core stronger, it'll increase spatial awareness, and it's going to have great carryover to all your calisthenics. Once you have that base and that foundation, then you can play around with the parallettes, play around with those dip bars, do handstands and the like, right? Do L-sits, straddles, together, feet apart, press up, all that good stuff. So, give those a try, add those into your training, whether you have dip bars, access to dip bars in the park, if you have actual parallettes like these, awesome, that's recommended, otherwise, get you a pair. As always, follow me on the gram, FitnessPhenom21, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Alright guys, so about to get it in, just freestyle basically, practice on these parallettes, some L-sits to handstands, handstand holds, holding it, and then the slow controlled descent coming down, back into that L-sit. It took me a real long time to get that, but basically you want to practice these movements. You want to practice getting upside down, getting inverted. You want to practice and basically play with these P bars, Parallette bars, or even dip bars if you're at a park, in order to get better at these movements, get better with handstands, bent arm handstands, straight arm handstands, L-sits, all that good stuff. Right, so this is something I actually used to do for my warm-ups before my workouts. Obviously pre-corona, then gyms closed down. I don't have a set of Parallettes at home, or at least a bigger set like this. I have a much smaller set that you guys seen in my videos. But yeah, so you want to take 10, 15, 20 minutes. That's what I used to do before my workouts as a warm-up, especially when I did more upper body stuff, pull days, push days, etc. L-sits into bent arm handstands, into a press, just like that, into a straight arm handstand, hang time, trying to keep the joints stacked, feet together, toes pointed. That was a good one there. And then controlling the descent. Controlling it, I feel like, is important, because you want to be in control of the movement the entire time. You don't want, essentially, the movement to be in control of you, right? So you want to have full control of that movement. Essentially to show dominance over the movement, over the skill. And that just comes through practice. Every single day, you got to put in that work, you got to put in that time, you got to put in that effort, you just got to practice. Fix that up. Right, and I learned that bent arm for me was much easier than straight arm, but it takes more strength in order to get bent arm handstands. But I like both. Bent arm, straight arms, all that good stuff. It's just like playing, essentially being a kid on these Parallettes and just playing and
getting upside down, getting inverted. Follow me on the gram, Fitness Phenom 21. Let's get it, baby. Get that press. Ayy. Ayy. Hang time. Ayy, there we go.